Everyone is triggered by rejection and abandonment. The threat that someone that you have an attachment to is going to leave you. That doesn't sit well with anybody. The difference is how you manage the trigger when it happens. Hey y'all, welcome to Boundaries and Grace. My name is Taylor Chandler. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, helping you break negative relationship patterns by shifting your attachment style. These kinds of signals of rejection and or abandonment can happen in any relationship. It happens to the most secure people. You can get a sign that someone that someone is leaving you or creating more distance between you and them than what makes you feel safe. Okay? Does everyone get that? Anybody, every relationship can get some degree of this at some point. It's a matter of how extreme that is, and how well we can manage that together, which is what makes the difference. No one is walking around in a whole intimate romantic relationship not getting triggered by anything. The foundational security of the relationship helps to mitigate that sense of rejection and abandonment. What do I mean by that? Like the impact of those kinds of rejection and abandonment signals, like it doesn't hit the same. Like if the foundation of our relationship is secure and you forget to call me back one night, that impact is a lot different than if the foundation of our relationship is insecure. We really don't trust each other consistently. We really don't feel safe with each other consistently. And I don't hear back from you one night when I'm supposed to. That impact is different. Does that make sense, y'all? The secure type can be triggered by whatever. They can be triggered by space. They can also be triggered by a feeling of smotheredness. Like I feel like I don't have enough space. I feel like I don't have enough space from you. Okay? I feel like you're imposing, you're overstepping my boundaries. Or I feel like you're too far away from me. A secure type can be triggered by anything in this range that we talked about with the AP and the DA, as small or as big, okay? Again, the difference is how it's managed. So the difference is the secure type doesn't use an emergency stop button. It is an uncommon strategy to manage a trigger. And I say uncommon because it's not impossible, right? Let's say someone reaches out, someone sends you a picture of your person sitting at a table. It looks like a romantic dinner. Okay, we're not sure yet, but it looks like a romantic dinner. They send you a picture. It comes to your phone. It comes to your DM. I'm pretty sure it's going to trigger a secure type. Like, well, what the hell is this? Right? I'm not suggesting that you don't have any reaction to something that's like, that's especially uncommon. So there is typically not an emergency stop. It would be uncommon. So what do I do instead? If I don't experience stress or distress as an experience where I must stop it immediately and completely, what do I do instead? What do we say in that treadmill example a couple minutes ago? I walk it down. I communicate. It's a slow de-escalation with communication rather than with control. The AP and the DA try to control the trigger by taking the reins and saying, we're just not talking at all, DA, or we're going to talk right now, AP. Okay? Fearful avoidant type, either one. Secure type, it's not a complete immediate stop. We're slowly de-escalating with communication, not control. Okay? Y'all, emergency stops are not sustainable, in case you couldn't tell. Okay? Emergency stops are not sustainable. It might make you feel better in the moment when you do get that contact or when you do get that space, but this is not sustainable for a relationship. So what do we need to do? We need to be able to be with the trigger, because you will have them. We need to be able to be with the trigger and communicate through it rather than becoming overwhelmed and panicked. So I've got to be able to regulate my nervous system. I also need the communication skills to be able to bring that to my person. I also need a sense of safety in the relationship that allows me to do that, because we don't encourage people to open up to someone who is consistently unsafe, consistently maybe critical or avoidant themselves. So the relationship we have to develop a sense of safety in the relationship to even be able to bring this in a safe way and to allow you to cover it, allow you to speak to it, allow you to correct my misperception, allow you to reassure me that maybe my perception wasn't wrong. And maybe I really did make a mistake. Maybe I really did, like, whatever I did, like, I was supposed to call you back last night at 7. It totally slipped my mind. It's not a lie or sneaky or whatever. I just forgot to do it, or I really did get caught up at work, or I really did choose to do something else. I made a mistake. I misprioritized. I did not realize that it would have this impact. I take responsibility for the impact. And so that's a safe relationship. We're going to talk later. I think we'll talk about an attachment in dating. We'll talk about unrealistic expectations that, like, no one will ever trigger you. Okay. Or that it's not realistic to have a conversation like that when you are triggered, because we have to be able to do that. So anyway,